Welcome to Boxing Revival. In this video, we will rank the best boxers of the 2010s decade. Great boxers from the previous era have continued their dominance through this decade. Some boxers decided to step away and retire from the sport, while some young and upcoming fighters have emerged in the boxing scene and already started to make a name in the boxing world. From 2010 to 2019, many boxing champions emerge, many great fights and great boxing events happened. The heavyweight division has new champions. The Klitschko era has ended, and the heavyweight became exciting again. Lower weight classes continues to produce great fighters. But the middle divisions, from lightweight to middleweight, have continued to rule the boxing scene. I have also listed down the honorable mentions, the boxers who were left out in the top 10, but have big influence, and have great careers in the decade. This rankings is purely based on their performance, and career achievements throughout the decade. Let's find out, who really define this era. Which boxer ruled the boxing world? Who are the best boxers of the 2010s decade? At number 10, Roman Gonzalez. Also known as Chocolatito, Gonzalez was the first Nicaraguan boxer to win world titles in 4 different divisions. He held world titles in 4 of the lowest divisions, the minimum weight, the light flyweight, the flyweight, and the junior bantamweight divisions. Although he suffered back-to-back losses in 2017, Gonzalez had a great career in the decade. From 2015 to 2017, Gonzalez was ranked as the world's best pound-for-pound boxer. At number 9, Naoya Inoue. The Japanese boxer was also known by his nickname, the Monster. He has a devastating power and brutal body punches. He knocked out 16 of his 19 opponents in the decade. The Japanese was a 3-division champion, winning titles in the light flyweight, the junior bantamweight, and the bantamweight divisions. Inoue has great future ahead of him. He is one of the most exciting boxers of his generation. At number 8, Anthony Joshua. The British boxer helped bring back the excitement to the heavyweight division. He won silver in the 2011 World Championships and the gold medal in the 2012 London Olympic Games. Joshua won the IBF heavyweight title in 2016 and added the WBA title in 2017 when he stopped Vladimir Klitschko. He also added the WBO title in 2018. However, Joshua lost the titles to Andy Ruiz in 2019, but was able to reclaim the titles the same year, when he defeated Andy Ruiz by a decision. At number 7, Terence Crawford. The American boxer was a 3-division champion. He won titles at lightweight, light welterweight, and the welterweight. He reigned as the undisputed light welterweight champion in 2017. Crawford was undefeated in the decade, and he holds wins over Victor Postal, Jeff Horn, and Amir Khan. But other than those boxers, Crawford's opponents has been lacking the quality, and he has yet to face a superstar in boxing. At number 6, Basil High-Tech Lomachenko. The boxer from Ukraine was one of the best amateur boxers of all time, with 396 wins and only 1 loss in his amateur career. He is a 2-time World Championships gold medalist and 2-time Olympic Games gold medalist. In the professional ranks, he was a 3-division champion in the decade. He won the WBO featherweight title in 2014, in only his 3rd professional fight, tying the record for the fewest fights to win a world title. he won the WBO super featherweight title in 2016, and unified the lightweight division in 2018. Lomachenko was named as the 2017 Fighter of the Year by The Ring magazine. At number 5. Gennady Golovkin. Known as Triple G, the boxer from Kazakhstan ruled the middleweight division of the decade. Golovkin won the WBA middleweight title in 2010, added the IBF title in 2015, and the WBC title in 2016. But Golovkin lost his titles, with a controversial loss to Canelo Alvarez in 2018. Before he regained the IBF middleweight title in 2019. Golovkin was known for his devastating power, with 23 straight knockout wins from 2008 to 2017. At number 4. Andre Ward. The American boxer was a former two-division champion. He held the WBA super middleweight title from 2009 to 2011, and added the WBC and the Ring titles in 2011. Andre Ward won over Sergey Kovalev in 2016 and 2017, winning the unified WBA, WBO, IBF, and the Ring light heavyweight titles. He was the 2011 Fighter of the Year by The Ring magazine. Andre Ward could have been the best boxer in this decade, but he did not fight for almost 2 years, from 2013 to 2015. And he retired undefeated in 2017, while still reigning as the best pound-for-pound boxer in the world. Before we move to the top 3, let's take a look at our honorable mentions. The boxers who contributed greatly during the decade. Number 1 on this list is the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury. The British boxer was also one of the reasons why the heavyweight division came alive and became relevant again. He defeated Vladimir Klitschko in 2015 in one of the most shocking upsets in the heavyweight history, winning the WBA, WBO, IBF, and the Ring titles. He was named as the 2015 Fighter of the Year by The Ring magazine. But after that fight, he did not fight for almost 3 years, before being held to a controversial draw with Deontay Wilder in 2018. His inactivity for almost 3 years was the reason why he was left out in the top 10 of the decade. Up next is Alexander Usyk. The boxer from Ukraine has a great career in the decade. He can be included in the best of the 2010s decade. As an amateur, he won gold medals at the 2011 World Championships and the 2012 London Olympic Games. Usyk won the WBO cruiserweight title in 2016 and became the undisputed cruiserweight champion in 2018 when he added the WBC, WBA, IBF and the Ring titles. He was named as the 2018 Fighter of the Year by The Ring magazine. Usyk being included in the top 10 was no problem. He has all the accolades to show for it. Overall, Usyk's future is very interesting. He can be very good in the heavyweight division. He is an exciting fighter, very fast for his size, smart, and a great fighter. Also in this list is Vladimir Klitschko. Klitschko continued his reign in the heavyweight division in this decade. He reigned as the unified IBF, WBO, and the Ring heavyweight champion from 2006, added the WBA title in 2011, with a win over David Haye. He defended his unified titles 11 times in the decade, before losing the belts to Tyson Fury in 2015. And in his last fight in 2017, he loses to Anthony Joshua. Vladimir Klitschko, together with his brother Vitaly, ruled the heavyweight division of the 2000s. but the lack of quality opponents they faced will forever be written in the history books. But overall, Klitschko was an all-time great. He was so good that he ruled the division for so long, and was one of the very best heavyweight champions of all time. Up next is the Bronze Bomber, Deontay Wilder. Another boxer that brings excitement to the heavyweight division. The American was known for his knockout power. Wilder was the WBC heavyweight champion from 2015 to 2020. He was the first American heavyweight champion since 2006. He holds wins over Luis Ortiz, Bermane Stiverne, and Chris Arreola. But overall, he lacks the quality opponents. That's why he was left out in the top 10 of the decade. Up next is Mikey Garcia. Garcia won world titles in 4 different divisions: the featherweight, super featherweight, lightweight, and the light welterweight divisions. He holds wins over Orlando Salido, Juan Manuel Lopez, and Adrian Broner. However, Garcia did not fight for 2.5 years, from 2014 to 2016. That's a large amount of time he missed while he was in his prime. He also lost to Errol Spence in the welterweight, and this proves that Garcia does not belong in that division. Up next is Nonito Donaire. The Filipino Flash has won world titles in 4 different divisions. He started the decade very strong, winning WBC and WBO bantamweight titles in 2011, and the WBO, IBF, and the Ring Super Bantamweight titles in 2012. And named as the Boxing Writers of America Fighter of the Year in 2012. Winning over Fernando Montiel, Omar Narvaez, and Jorge Arce. However, he suffered 5 losses from 2013 to 2019. But overall, Donaire's career in the decade was a great one, knocking his opponents with his left hook and his great technical fighting style. Up next is Errol Spence. The American boxer was undefeated in the decade, with 21 of his wins coming by way of knockout. He won the IBF welterweight title in 2017. And added the WBC title in 2019, with a win over Sean Porter. However, Spence only had 5 world title fights in the decade. He has a great career ahead of him in the next decade. Up next is the Crusher, Sergey Kovalev. The Russian boxer was a 3-time light heavyweight champion. He won the WBO light heavyweight title in 2013. Then added the WBA and IBF titles when he defeated Bernard Hopkins. He held the unified titles until 2016, before suffering back-to-back losses to Andre Ward. He also suffered 2 losses in 2018 and 2019. But overall, he was one of the best light heavyweights of the 21st century. Also in this list is Miguel Cotto. He was the first boxer from Puerto Rico to win world titles in 4 different divisions. He won the light middleweight title in 2010, and the middleweight title in 2014, when he defeated Sergio Martinez. Although he lost his 4 fights in this decade, and retired early in 2017, Cotto still holds wins over great champions, such as Yuri Foreman, Margarito, and Sergio Martinez. Up next is Leo Santa Cruz. The Mexican was a 4-division champion in the decade. He won world titles in the bantamweight, super bantamweight, featherweight, and the super featherweight divisions. He holds wins over Abner Maris, Christian Mijares, and Carl Frampton. But other than that, he has yet to face a really notable opponent. Up next is Sergio Martinez. The Argentine boxer was nicknamed Mirabilia. He was the Fighter of the Year in 2010 by the Ring magazine, and the Boxing Writers of America, because of his wins over Kelly Pavlik, winning the WBC, WBO, the Ring, and Lineal Middleweight titles, and his knockout win over Paul Williams, which was awarded as the Knockout of the Year of 2010. He held the belts until 2014, before he was defeated by Miguel Cotto, and retiring from boxing, because of the injuries, and his aging body. Though Martinez fought only until 2014, he deserves a mention in this list, because he was one of the best middleweights of the modern era. Up next is El Chacal, Guillermo Rigondeaux. The Cuban has a great amateur career, before turning professional. He was the WBA Super Bantamweight champion, from 2012 to 2017. He added the WBO and the Ring titles in 2013, with a win over Nonito Donaire. Also in this list is Johnny Mates. Although not as famous as his countryman Manny Pacquiao and Nonito Donaire, the Filipino was the third Asian boxer to win titles in 4 different divisions. He won titles in the strawweight, the light flyweight, the flyweight, and the junior bantamweight divisions. His best division was at the light flyweight, when he reigned as the WBO and the Ring champion from 2011 to 2016. And the last of the honorable mentions list, the Desert Storm, Timothy Bradley. The American was a 2-division champion in the decade, winning titles in the light welterweight and the welterweight divisions. Although involved in the controversy in his bad decision win over Manny Pacquiao, Bradley was still a good boxer. He holds wins over Devin Alexander, Joel Casamayor, Ruslan Provodnikov, and Juan Manuel Marquez. At number 3. Canelo Alvarez. The Mexican boxer was a 4-division champion. He won titles in the light middleweight, the middleweight, the super middleweight, and the light heavyweight divisions. He was named as the 2019 Fighter of the Year by the Ring magazine, after his knockout win over Sergey Kovalev. Alvarez also holds wins over Miguel Cotto, Daniel Jacobs, and Gennady Golovkin, although there have controversies in his fights with Golovkin. Overall, Alvarez was one of the best boxers of his generation, known for his power and his counter-punching ability. He is a legitimate top 3 of this decade. He can be the second best, or even the best boxer of this decade. At number 2. Manny Pacquiao. The Pacman of the Philippines started the decade with a win over Margarito, winning the light middleweight title, and cementing his record of 8 titles, in 8 different divisions. Though Pacquiao suffered 4 losses in the decade, against Juan Manuel Marquez, Floyd Mayweather, Timothy Bradley, and Jeff Horn, 2 of those losses were controversial decisions. He is the only 4-time welterweight champion, and became the oldest champion of the division, when he defeated Keith Thurman in 2019. He holds wins over Shane Mosley, Marquez, Brandon Rios, Adrian Broner, and 2 wins over Timothy Bradley. Manny Pacquiao showed in this decade how to get up and rise again after a loss. At number 1. Floyd Mayweather. Although Mayweather had a short career in this decade, and fighting only 10 times, his win over Manny Pacquiao in 2015 cemented his legacy as the best of the decade. He won titles in the welterweight and the light middleweight divisions. He started the decade with a win over Shane Mosley, then defeated everyone else, from Victor Ortiz, Miguel Cotto, Canelo Alvarez, Marcos Maidana, before stopping UFC star Conor McGregor in his last fight in 2017, retiring with a clean record of 50 wins, without a loss. This is boxing. Boxing lives on. Continue to support this beautiful and exciting sport. Thank you for watching. For more boxing stories, boxing fights, and boxing news, subscribe on this channel. Click the notification bell for more updates. Because in this channel, together we will revive the boxing world.